or can I not? It's about health, and it's about health for a wide variety of communities. And one of the big things that I think a lot of people might know but not realize is that the maternal mortality rate for Black women especially is almost 3 times higher than that of white women. You take that into account, and you take into account how this is going to affect rights for transgender women, for intersex women. And I sort of want you to talk a little bit about how this decision affects these various communities.
Oh, there's just so much here. Without getting too much into the weeds of what's happening at the legislature, what this does remind me of is just this last week, we had a hearing on a bill that I have that is to eliminate sales tax on a variety of products that women use, period products. I used the terminology in laying out the bill that said people who menstruate at one point. I used the terms women too. I'll say I go back and forth with what I say. But I started getting these attacks on Twitter from folks like, oh, can't you just say women? You know, it's just, we have such an uphill battle at the legislature right now with all of these things. But I'm sorry, I just thought of that, and I just wanted to mention that it is very toxic over there right now in regard to talking in real terms about the reality of inclusion and the people who are part of our community. But I also want to mention, following up on something, I don't even know if it's in regard to your question, it was something I was thinking about though while y'all were talking, and I think Wendy too, you, talking about the inevitability of what happened as a result of the 2016 election. You know, we heard from Trump that he was going to appoint people to the Supreme Court who were going to overturn Roe. We heard that. We heard that. To me, the fact that we didn't defeat him at that point in time is still pretty incredible when I look back on it, because he did exactly what he said. I'm reminded of the documentary Reversing Roe, where they interviewed a gentleman who heads up an evangelical group for the country, who said how they worked with Trump and they looked past some of his indiscretions, whatever that is. Indiscretions is a light term for whatever that is. And he mentions that in one of the debates between Hillary and Trump, where they were asking about abortion, and Hillary gave her usual kind of thing about, you know, making it legal, safe, and rare. Trump's answer was basically, they want to be ripping those babies out at 9 months, whatever. It was some ridiculous thing he said. But this person with the evangelical group said, that's when we knew he was ours. We didn't put those words in his mouth. He said that. And they were 100% behind him, despite everything else about that man. And we let him get elected. And he made those appointments and put us where we are. And we do not have the judicial support that we once had. And we are not going to have it until we make some of the changes, expanding the court, whatever we need to do here. We are stuck with this, and it is not just the Supreme Court. It's the federal appointments that were made to federal courts. It's what we're seeing here in Texas, where whenever anything comes up, it gets referred to particular courts where we have judges who have been appointed by Trump and who are making decisions that are not in our best interest. So I did not answer your question because I don't even remember what it was now.
She was preaching.